So, here we are during the little chatting part, so I'm going to bring that off for a moment, so yeah. And anyways, thanks once again. Thank Lily Audrey for all of the stuff that has for all of my stuff so far. So yeah. Huh. Anyways. Mm. More stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So, back into the frame and doing the game. Alright, there's some other stuff in here. Well, first off, I guess there are some stuff that I feel like keeping on me, so hold on for your seats for a little while as I go exploring the world. pretty sure I can. Okay, this is actually good. Right. First off, there is my little Sonic poster. It's really cool and all. And, alright, some of this. Let's see here. If you're wondering, my brother made a little bit of, painting of Mario and the former CEO of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata. So, there's that. What else be there? I know this is just barely escaping my velocity, but oh, there's the whole thing with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 poster. It was one of the big ones. Let me tell you about that. What else is there? So, yeah, Sonic poster over here again, with the Wada thing over there, and I guess I'll go back into my whole game collecting thing. Alright. Right. I have a lot with me, so yeah, you're with me for a little bit. So, yeah, I got a good amount of Sonic stuff, Kirby stuff, and Mario stuff, so let's begin. I guess I'll go with Kirby Triple Deluxe for the 3DS. Honestly, one of my favorite Kirby games, and Kirby, and it was one of the first times I've been, ever since like Kirby's experimental phase in the late 2000s, I was like a little peeved off with Kirby, so I didn't play Return to Dreamland, unfortunately, although that was because of another circumstance around that time, and I've never gotten into Kirby Squeak Squad. But I do have that one on my Wii U, so I'll probably get into it eventually. Then there's Kirby Planet Robobots. I'm pretty sure this one right here is the best 3DS Kirby game so far. Or probably the best Kirby game of all time right now. What else is there? Moving on to Mario right now. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and Bowser's Minions, so as much as none of you are going to agree with me, I like this one over the original, in some sense. Although that's just because I've actually beaten this game compared to the original. Although everybody says that the final boss is harder in the 3DS version, but I didn't really see that. I've always had a problem beating with the original Superstar Saga game. But with that one, I've actually done better, and it's so strange. I'll get into that later. For some reason, still have my copy of Mario and Luigi and Paper Jam, even if it's one of the reasons why. Sorry, was this made by an Alpha Train? Alpha Red? Even though it was one of the reasons the former company went out of business. So, yeah. What else be there? My copy of Mario Kart Wii. I know it's a little bit damaged, but bear with me. Mario Kart Wii. One of the most relentless Mario Kart games of all times. And I still have it because it does have a good amount of stuff with it. And then I currently have Mario Party 6. Don't know why I haven't played it yet. And I don't really know why I haven't played it yet. I've heard really good things about that one with the day and night system. But this was the first one I ever grew up on. Don't exactly remember beating it. Have I? Mario Party 4. Let's see here. Then there's Mario Kart Double Dash. One of the best racers of all time. Especially for the multiplayer theme. And definitely the stages. And also, this Mario Kart Wii does also have some good racetracks as well, like Coconut Mall, Maple Treeway, Koopa Cape. As for Mario Kart's Double Dash, oh boy, we got like Peach Beach, Daisy Cruiser, Wario Stadium, Waluigi Coliseum, Stadium, Waluigi Stadium. What else was there? Yoshi's Circuit wasn't all that bad. Sherbetland, Dry Desert, good amount. DK Mountain, Dino Jungle. Forgetting what else, but yeah, that was a good game. Let's see here, what else? The Wii version of Super Mario All-Stars. Yeah, of course, we now have this on the Nintendo Switch Online, but for its time when it came out on the Wii, this was a really good collection. It also had bonus content and more. Of course, there's the whole Super Mario Worlds theme nowadays, and why that wasn't bundled, but come on. Everything's now on the Switch. Oh yeah, I do have the little bonus theme here as well. I recently picked this up at a GameStop, and it's Super Mario Brothers Wii. Oh yeah. I've heard great things about that multiplayer, but hold on a moment. I almost forget about that. I mean, New Super Mario Brothers Wii. New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and I have New Super Mario Brothers. This one was I actually got this a few months ago while I went to another GameStop out here, and I remember getting this for like $20 or so, and that was a good deal. Maybe it was 25. More on to the Kirby side for a little bit more. Kirby's Return to Dreamland, the Wii version. Actually, I've never played that game, or at least that Wii version, because I've gotten Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, and it's a really good game. And the multiplayer and minigame collection, especially with Magalore Land, is definitely, my opinion, a good reason why to buy this game. And then, let's see here. Of course, I've already mentioned about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Fun game, fun package. And even though the Booster Course Pass stuff is a little bit mid, I would say, it's still a good buy for the original base content alone. Super Mario World, Super Mario 3D World, and Bowser's Fury. Okay, so full disclosure here, I've played Super Mario 3D World and love it. I've yet to play Bowser's Fury for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it's still a good game. I never saw that missing. Huh. Did that one just disappear? That's funny. Oh, right, there you are. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Super Mario Maker 2. Haven't played this much since its release, but it's still a fine game if you want level editing and all that. What else be there? Right? Kirby's Dream Collection. Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition. It has Kirby's Dreamland, Kirby's Adventure, Kirby's Dream Land 2, Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Land 3, and Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. Oh, right. Yeah, I really do love all of those, most of those games in there, but hold on a moment. But for whatever reason, I have yet to play Kirby's Dream Land 3. That's the only one in that collection that I have yet to play with. And speaking of that, I also have Kirby Superstar Ultra, but that's going to take me a little while to find that. So I do have the cart, and I do plan on playing that maybe eventually. But I'll see what I can do. But I do really enjoy Kirby Superstar Ultra because it has some of the best content ever of a Kirby game. So, yeah. Kirby's Epic Yarn. This is actually my brother's version, so I'll plan on probably taking care of that eventually. I don't know, I've never been much a fan of experimental Kirby, especially with Epic Yarn, even though it looks cute. Probably something to do with the low difficulty bar. Anyways, what else is there? Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Okay, so I've actually played only Super Mario 64 and Sunshine. Good games, not some of my favorite games. And as for Super Mario Galaxy, I don't know. Still have yet to defeat that game. Out of everything in my collection so far, I'd say Super Mario Maker 2, Super Mario 3D Worlds plus Bowser's Fury, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Let's see here. Anything. Let's see here. I'd say Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World. Any version really. Mario Kart Double Dash. Bowser, Mario and Luigi, Superstar Saga, any version. Kirby Robobot and Kirby Triple Deluxe are very good and must-own games. Let's see here. Paper Mario Color Splash. I haven't really opened this game now that I think about it, but it was part of the Wii U's Dying Days and I don't know, because I really wanted to enjoy. I did somewhat like Sicker Star when it came out, but I don't know. And as for Color Splash, don't know why I haven't played it yet. I've heard it's better than Sicker Star, but if you're wondering, I haven't gotten Paper Mario Origami King, so yeah. And speaking about other games that I've yet to talk about, Kirby Star Allies. Even though it's like very basic with its multiplayer and so on, its current the amount of content it has right now definitely makes this one valuable. I mean, some of the past characters like Rick Kine and Ku, Marks, Magalore, all of those are playable with interesting kind of movesets. And the amount of content this game have been getting for a while, it makes this one of the most enjoyable games I've ever played of the last decade. So don't sleep on it because it's really good. Let's see here. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. I've actually played and defeated the original game, but always found it like a kind of mediocre thing, and that's just because of my hatred, my unnatural hatred for Superstar Saga. I've never was really a fan of Fawful. I didn't find him funny at all. Or maybe that's just me. And if I never appreciated Fawful, and I always took that into hating anything that Fawful was in, even when he became the main villain. And to this day, I've played and defeated the original Bowser's Inside Story, but never defeated the remake. I gotta get into it eventually. It's nearly like 5 years old to this point. But what else is there? I'm definitely still playing this game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I still wonder why there's a Super Mario Brothers scene, since that's just a horrible naming scheme, but still has been really fun. Super Mario Odyssey, one of the best sandbox games of 2017 and the last decade. Honestly, not that bad of a game. And before I get into anything else, whoops. Okay. Like I've said, Sonic. Ooh, that's too big. Sonic Mania is one of my favorite games of all times. And it's probably the best classic Sonic game ever. I can definitely vouch for that. That's just there. Sega Genesis. Oh yeah, and also it's Strider. Alright, I forgot about that. Bubble Bobble. Oh boy, Bubble Bobble. I mean, it's a good game and all that, but its main theme will drive you insane. Alright. The Bloodstained games. Do I even have that one? I'm sure I showcased that off last time. Yeah, there we are. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Don't know why I have yet to play this, considering I beat both Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 and its sequel. I don't know what it was. Remember David Hayter of Metal Gear fame being a part of that game for whatever reason, if I remember. Bug Fables. Everlasting Sapling. Have yet to beat it, but I don't know why. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Alright. The Contra Anniversary Collection. So, get this game all only because probably of the first 3 games and maybe a Hard Corpse, but do what you want to do. Oh yeah, ARMS. Dragon's Lair Trilogy. I forgot I had that. Yeah, the first Dragon's Lair is actually really fun game. If you can believe that, it's just really, really fun. Of course, I have the first Bayonetta. I think these are just fun games, in and out of themselves. Do I even have that one anymore? Nope, I do not. And that's just because I do not like that game at all. I have yet to play Blaster Master Zero. Very really fun things about that game. Right. Kirby's Dream Buffet is actually really fun, and I can't believe I haven't played it since a long time ago. Capcom Beat 'em Up Battle? I remember that one being good. I didn't exactly remember it too much, except for maybe Final Fight. The Final Fight games? Yeah, they're fine. I beat Radical Dreamers, but I have yet to beat Chrono Cross. Oh yeah, if you're wondering where Chrono Trigger is up in my top 100, it's one of my favorite games of all time, no doubt. I believe the DS version. Who knows? I know that there's one thing that ties that game up with Chrono Cross, but it's good for that Chrono Cross is getting stuff all these years later. Right? Oh yeah, I forgot I had those two games. I need to play them eventually. Baldur's Gate 3 is already out. Never was good at this game, leave it at that. Celeste is one of the best games that I've ever played. Even the. I'll say it now, it is one of the best hidden gem things or whatever the last decade or so. 2019, I believe it came out. I highly recommend Celeste for like any kind of stress reliever. It's just that good. Right? I guess I'll just show my e-collection from that's well, first off, Fire Mario, Luigi, and Luigi, Mario and Luigi stuff, Wedding Mario, both 30th anniversary Marios, King Dedede, and Kirby. Kirby and Meta Knight having fun. Kirby and Dedede in boxes. Wedding Bowser and Wedding Peach from Super Mario Odyssey. Yes, I got that collection. Yeah, you can see. Mario. Daisy. Hi, I'm Daisy. Yeah. Luigi. Dear Peach. Alright. On to the big guns. Super Mario Odyssey. Okay, so Super Mario Odyssey may be my favorite Super Mario game of all time, but not my favorite Mario game in general. And it honestly goes to Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door for me. Because that game is one of the best, one of the best, is the best Paper Mario game of all time, and it is one of maybe the best RPG, maybe the best GameCube game of all time. I'm not kidding you. It's that charming, and everything about Mario, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is just fantastic. Even the music is really fun. And even though this upcoming game isn't as big as that, this for me is tied with Kirby Planet Robobot as my favorite Kirby game. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It is just wonderful that it took them at least 30 years for Kirby to finally go 3D, or at least into a 3D plane. And that transition took its time, but it was so worth it for me. And the theme song, that theme song. What was it called? Darn it. Welcome to the New World is fantastic. One of my favorite songs to date. So, yeah, let's see here. Got a little more time. Just gonna show off my E collection. Well, maybe my F collection as well. I'm gonna show off a little bit of my E collection when it comes to the Switch, and a good amount of my F collection as well. The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Why have I not even thought about doing much with that game? I bought it years ago, but for whatever reason, could never get back into it. I don't know why. Maybe I was just spoiled by a certain other RPG game, open worlds game at that time, but I'd still say that Skyrim still has its merits to this day, so yeah. Okay, Final Fantasy X in particular. Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. And I'm not saying that without a bit of irony. It is, once you get past through some of the voice acting and whatever, with that said, it has some of the best character development, some of the best scenery, some of the best set pieces, and some of the best music of all time. Xanarkand, or To Xanarkand, or whatever, is one of the best Final Fantasy songs of all time, and the love theme, hold on a moment. I agree. And its main love theme Suteki Dane, I believe it's called. Well, I'm not really good at pronouncing Japanese, so it also has the subtitle, Isn't It Wonderful? Eh, all of the songs, especially Nobuo Uematsu's work, is just brilliant in that game. I can understand it. I can hardly believe it. That it's really that good. Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. It's fine. It's fine. It's not bad, but there are certainly some things that there are some things about the story and the presentation and the music I like. It's not in my top 100 games of all time. It's not one of my favorite games ever, but it's still decent and I still regard it as really good. Oh, and if you're wondering about Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions, or any of the other Final Fantasy Tactic games that I haven't mentioned, Final Fantasy Tactics is a good, decent game, has a compelling story, and the gameplay is just whatever for me anyway. So I do have it on my iPhone, the War of the Lions version anyway. So yeah. Then there's wait. Oh yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses is on my Switch. I, for whatever reason, never bought the physical version. I guess I was a little bit too antsy about that, but I'll get into that one later. Fire Emblem Three Hopes. I don't know I have yet to play this game, but I've heard really good things about it. So I'll get into this game eventually. Fire Emblem Engage. I'll probably get the comment section or over in heat about this, but gameplay wise, one of my favorite games of all time. Maybe because of its gameplay, it's my favorite Fire Emblem game of all time. I know I'll probably get roasted for that, but I've no regrets. It is really a fun game, even if it's a corny game nonetheless. And I definitely like Unica. I have no shame in that. Papaya, or whatever. Well, I guess I could talk about any of the games that I do have concerning that. One of these days I'll have to eventually beat more of Button Kaidos 1 and 2 because it's actually a fun the card game system I really do enjoy. I don't know why I haven't played more of the series. Do you kind of like it? I don't know why I've been putting off with that game. Final Fantasy VI, in any case, is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, and not only that, but it's also a really good RPG. For its music, its characters, its storytelling, its settings. It is one of the best Final Fantasy games out there, and Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. It's just that good. Any version. Donkey Kong. Almost forgot about you, my friend. It's not bad, but you know what? We'll give it some. It's not bad. It's just mediocre. Hmm. What else be there? Collectible? Hold on a moment. Oh wait, that comes later. I'm on E and F. Oh wait, Alex Kidd in Miracle World. DX. Just basic. It's just a mediocre game. I'm glad Alex Kidd got some spotlight again, but meh. Don't know why I've yet to play this, but I just heard it's mediocre. Release this version. And again, inside this world, I don't think I'll have the luxury of friends anytime soon, locally. Final Fantasy IX is my third favorite game of the series. Right behind Final Fantasy VI, but still fun. I'll get to that soon enough. F-Zero 99 is a fun multiplayer game, but boy, trying to get first place is a little bit difficult. Alright. Fire Emblem Three Houses. Fire Emblem Three Houses is honestly one of the best Fire Emblem games in recent history. Great stories, great characters, great music. Even if some of them is like trap and it doesn't fit the Fire Emblem theme at all, but still, Fire Emblem Three Houses is a fun game even with its characters, its progression, its leveling up system, its characters, its settings, its bosses, its way of leveling up, its classes. It's just a really, really solid strategy RPG. And the last one to seal off the deal for me is, where are you? We're just here. Where you go, my friend? Swear I was here a little while ago. Alright, look for the meteor. Meteor. There we are. Alright. I'll be back in a little bit so I can talk about one of my childhood games I grew up on. So, be right back. Oops. Right, I have yet to go do that. Wait. Just one. Oh, sorry about that little device there. Right. Oh, right, there you are. Alright, so with that said, Final Fantasy VII, honestly, one of my favorite games of all time, even though it's a little bit outdated in some regards. I just really like the worlds, the leveling up system, the materia system, the characters, the story, the characters, definitely the music. Even if it's simple now, the music is something. The characters, the final boss, definitely the final boss. Just this whole game definitely left an impression on me as a child, and it was actually my first Final Fantasy game, and yeah, I'll never forget how this game became part of my life. I did, until a few years ago, I never beat this game until it finally came out onto the Switch years ago. I actually had it on. It was one of my first games that I have ever gotten, and I remember playing it on the PS, the original PlayStation, getting away sometime past the first infiltration bombing mission or whatever, but me and Final Fantasy VII has gotten a little flack these days, but I can't help it. I just really love this game. Yes, it's outdated, but without its popularity, who knows where Final Fantasy would have gotten since then, and I'm thankful that it exists as for. And then here's where I will get into all of this. Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy remake stuff. So, I've actually played and beaten Final Fantasy VII Remake, minus the new integrate stuff that came with the PS5, including Yuffie's little side story thing. And yes, I have yet to beat Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, but I will eventually get there. Sometime before when the next Final Fantasy VII game comes out next year, I believe. Speaking about remakes, can't wait for the remake for the Switch coming out next year. And yeah, what else is there? As for the other Final Fantasy games, I've actually beaten the pixel remasters of Final Fantasy 2 and 4, and of course 6. Let's see here. As for the other Final Fantasy games that as for the other Final Fantasies from 1 to 6, Final Fantasy 1 is a good game, even if it's a little outdated, it's still a classic. Final Fantasy 2. The original Final Fantasy 2 that was for the NES. It has some good quality stuff, but there's some good elements of it. It's just not a good Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy 3, the original Final Fantasy 3. I've actually beaten the DS version. It's alright, except for the obvious Crystal Tower shenanigans. What else is there? Final Fantasy 4 is an okay game. Both the DS remake and the Pixel remaster versions are really good games. Highly recommend them. Final Fantasy 4 in particular is one of my favorite games of all times. As for Final Fantasy 5, it definitely has good parts of it and is pretty decent, especially when it comes to Battle at the Big Bridge and Gilgamesh as a character. I'm just going to say this straight away. Nobuo Uematsu. Sorry for probably getting that right, but he has some of the best soundtracks ever in it. And everything from 1 to 8 and 9 to 10 is spectacular. I'd give any of his compositions a try. Let's see here. Final Fantasy V also has a really good job system. Let's see here. If you're wondering why I haven't talked about Final Fantasy VIII, just really much of... I've heard mixed things about its gameplays and characters and stories, so not worth my time. Final Fantasy XI is an MMORPG, so no thanks to that. Although I had been playing, I'm not sure if I As for any other RPGs would recommend, I would go for Final Fantasy XIV. I've played and beaten up to the Heavensward expansion, and I can say this without a shadow of a doubt that I really do appreciate Final Fantasy Heavensward. Or at least, I played up to Heavensward and think Heavensward is really good expansion thing. Just, if you can, just play Final Fantasy 14. Or at least the Realm Reborn version, because it's actually a decent and competent MMORPG, and I will take no slander for that because it's a good, really good MMORPG, and I'm not usually into that stuff, so I'll give that a passing yes. And yeah, I think I'll just. It's been an hour and I haven't really eaten much of. Haven't gotten myself lunch yet, so in about like 30 minutes or so, I will continue on with possibly. Yeah, but I did mention that I would be getting back with Diablo 4 eventually after, since I missed out, and this time I do have an Xbox Gold thing that I will use for my Xbox, so I definitely will get back into Diablo 4. As for Diablo 2, I might need to find a way how to play that game, but I'll just go with the latest in the series. Maybe I'll try the current Diablo 2 Resurrected game. Even though I heard bad things about it, and Blizzard these days isn't too hot, but whenever I'll just get into it, so. Yep, I'll get into Diablo 4 as soon as possible, since it is the Halloween festivities. I'll go on and do what I can, so far this has been Oasis Gaming, and I've been your host, Danny Hargraves, and I'll get back into streaming a little eventually, so bye-bye for now. I'm just going to take a little break. And I hope you enjoyed my little collection so far, and I will be back in a bit.